Hi everybody, so today I'm going to take some inspiration from Bach's Prelude BWV 998, Prelude, Fugue and Allegro. A really nice prelude in D major. I can't play it yet, I'd like to play it, I need to learn it, but I'm just going to forward you on to somebody who can. Lovely, isn't it? Isn't it nice? Okay, so you might say, well, you can't play it, so what possible inspiration are you going to take from it? And the answer is architectural. I like the way Bach modulates from D to A minor to E minor to B minor in the first few bars of that. And we're going to use that as a way of structuring our own little mini prelude. It won't be a complete prelude because in order to turn things full circle, we need to go back to D again. But we're just going to go to B minor from D the way he does. Okay, so how does he do it? Well, he starts with this little, this lovely theme in D major over the D pedal, which is this. Told you I couldn't play it. And that's very centered around D for a few bars. But then he quickly moves to A major. How does he do that? Well, he uses something known as the sharp 4-2 chord. So a sharp 4-2 chord contains the intervals 6, sharp 4, and 2. Jazz musicians would call it a third inversion dominant seventh. And you've actually seen this chord in action. There's some nice examples in tunes like Falling Grace by Steve Swallow and James by Pat Metheny, as well as The Bridge of Wave by Jobim. Okay, it's a known thing. So third inversion dominant. In this case, we might write it as a slash chord, so E slash D. It's quite 70s. I think of it as the ABBA chord. Da 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 da. And ABBA and Bach both go down a half step to this first inversion A major chord. And then we go 2-5-1. So even a jazz musician can understand that, right? It's a nice 2-5-1. I'm very much in the key of A now. I've had a very conclusive cadence into A major. Right, okay, what we're going to do. Same sort of thing, but a twist. To make it more minor-y, we're going to, instead of doing our sharp 4-2, we're going to add in a lovely scrunchy flat 3 and turn it into a diminished 7th chord. So A diminished. Oh. So we go. And again, we're going to use this first inversion chord, but this time it's the first inversion E minor. Another 2-5-1. E minor. Now, Bach doesn't play the theme in E minor, he plays it in A major. And he goes. That's all right. But in E minor, he doesn't play the theme. He then winds around using the cycle of fifths, so we've ended up on 2, so it's Autumn Leaves. And we end up in B minor, right? Brilliant, huh? And then he plays the theme there. Sort of like that, isn't it? So we're going to apply this to a little prelude of our own, okay? So here's a very simple thematic idea. It's a little arpeggio thing. We're going D. And we're going to do this voicing where we've got a D, D octave and F sharp on top. E minor 7 shell voicing. A first inversion major, so D over F sharp. Then an open or spread triad on G. And we're going to come down again. 7 to 6, D, right? Very simple. I'm going to arpeggiate it like this. And we're going to do the same thing in A minor. A major even. Okay. notice that pedal note, the pedal tonic note each time. It's a bit like Blackbird. Okay, and then we're not going to do it in E minor because we're just going to go around the houses. We're doing B minor. Okay, and I also want to make the modulation chords, the sharp 4-2 and the diminished, quite short as well, just so that sits right rhythmically. Okay, we're going to give this a try. And so on, right? So that's how you can start to structure a prelude. Now, this is not a complete prelude. You need to go around, a few more times and do a few more bits. And eventually bring things probably back to D major again. No, not necessarily. But that's a good little start. And again, I'm sort of struck by how similar this kind of structure is to the way you might structure the beginning part of a fugue, because you've got a theme, even though it's not contrapuntal the way I played it. You've got a theme, you've got some kind of episodic material that takes you to a different key. Then you have another version of the theme, then you do it again, you've got another theme. So I think preludes and fugues are structurally very similar. They seem to be anyway. Even with some of the more contrapuntal preludes, for instance, things from the well-tempered clavier and so on, have often the preludes and fugues are a little bit harder to distinguish. But this is an example of what you might call an arpeggio or figuration prelude, like, for instance, BWV 998. Anyway, I will leave it there. Hope you find that useful. It's great to take inspiration from the composers that you're studying. Thanks for watching.